Good morning everyone, my name is Hayden and today we will be going on a long-ass trail ride with Bandit and Jordan. Jordan is my boyfriend and he has planned this out for a couple weeks now and very excited about it, I must add. I have been told to stay at Armadillo for the night while he continues to plan, and now it is about 6 AM in the morning and I now need to make my way down to Twin Rocks where he has been staying for the night to finish off any preparations he has for this however long trail ride. This is also my first time recording audio to go over my videos. So if I miss any noises like that, I apologise. I do become quite immune to them, as that's what tends to happen when you have a conure as a son. Anyway, now that that's out the way, let's crack on with the trail. I'm sure for many people, the quote-unquote good weather is very enjoyable and actually probably quite a good sign for them. However, I actually hate warm weather, so I was sweltering already and these were my lightest clothes. Luckily though, Bandit was in a good enough mood that I didn't have to put any excess effort in just to get him to move, so I didn't end up getting too hot or as hot as I could have done. But it did make me realise I had forgotten to bring water. Stupid me. As we're currently riding up to Twin Rocks, we pass this random person who's just kind of stood there on the path. I think they said they were having issues with their horse, but we were going too quickly for me to actually clearly hear what they were saying. But I'm sure they were fine because they were gone by the time we left. Luckily, like I said earlier, Bandit was in a good mood, so he was actually responding quite well to things I was telling him to do, at least to start with. Anyway, here I have to hitch up Bandit as I go inside to go get a drink. I didn't record the inside of the house because it was actually Jordan's friend's house, so I didn't want to obviously invade their privacy. So that's what this quick jump cut was, and as I come back out, Jordan is just sorting out mahogany, and we are just about to go. After just quickly brushing some dust off of Bandit's neck once again, I decide to mount up first as Mahogany seems to be having a couple of tantrums, which probably isn't a good start considering she was meant to be leading this trail ride. Luckily, Jordan managed to calm her down, and this is where we started to set off. Obviously, I'm going to have to step aside here for a moment, just so Jordan can get by. After setting off, it seemed that Mahogany just didn't seem to like the Morgan that she was stood beside for a while. But she did end up calming down, and thus the trail began. point, I think we'd been riding for about 45 minutes, just kind of going round paths and looking at the views. Bandit was doing really well, Mahogany had finally calmed down. But then we had these two people who just, they wanted to get by. But their horses were being really eggy, is all I can explain it as. And then they got really, really tetchy. And I was trying to get Bandit to move on at this point because Bandit was getting annoyed. And they just kind of sat there with guns, and it was really, really strange. At this point, me and Jordan are just trying to stick to the side of the path rather than being on the path, just so this person could go by. But they just didn't. They kind of just sat there, and while their friend just rode off. So at this point, I think we kind of just decided that we were just going to carry on the path. We're not going to, like, wait for them to go by. And then their friend, I think, realised, oh wait, why aren't they following? And kind of rode off there. And we thought that was quite funny. It took us about 15 minutes to get from the last jump cut that you just saw to here. And somehow we didn't notice any clouds coming in. Even running over the footage, I don't remember, like, I cannot see a point where they kind of rolled in. But here we are, I guess, and Bandit is not happy now. He does not like the rain much, and he was not impressed. And to be honest, neither were me or Jordan. I managed to keep him in check though, and he does continue to listen. I can just feel how tense his body is. Me and Jordan are looking around to see if there's anywhere where we can stop for a few minutes, like to let the rain die down a tad. But no, we weren't in a situation or an area where that was possible. As you can see in front, Mahogany gets tetchy about something, probably a snake in the distance, and Bandit also loses it. He is not impressed at all. He just wants to keep stopping, but I obviously cannot let him as we want to proceed and get to our destination before it runs to nighttime, because I was late. Oops. As expected, it did end up getting darker than we wanted it to, and sooner than we wanted it to, but at this point we're coming past McFarlane's ranch, so we know we're not too far from our destination, and we did consider stopping here for the night, but we didn't want to inconvenience anyone, so we did just continue on. At this point we knew both of our horses were beginning to get tired, and so were we. We had been riding for quite a freaking while, and it took us a lot longer than we expected it to. So sadly, this next part was to be expected, especially considering I'd already said Bandit can be quite touchy. At this point I was just trying to get him as far away from that train as possible, even if that meant him bolting, but at least I was expecting it. I didn't want him to run into the train, as he kind of loses his mind if he spooks completely. As you just saw, he just nearly ran into a pole and a tree, and he couldn't care less right now. So at this point I'm just trying to calm him down, and he's just taking his sweet time, but he does get there. After the longest 5 minutes of my life, we finally managed to get him to calm down enough to get back to Jordan, who had, in the meantime, been attacked by wolves. So he had to shoot them, but we did manage to continue. But of course, as we did, it started absolutely bucketing it down, which didn't help with the fact that Bandit was already on edge and Mahogany was clearly starting to get slightly fed up now. Also at this point, I think everything starts to bother Bandit, because even the wind was starting to get to him. But I suppose at this point during the day, he'd normally be in a nice warm stall with dinner. Silly me didn't even see the bloody bridge coming up. But as I know Bandit hates bridges, I knew I had to circle him a few times and then just keep kicking him on just to get over it. Once he goes over one, he's normally okay with the rest as long as they're like one after the other. So I didn't have too much worry, but I didn't have a chance to tell Jordan, and he did end up riding off without me for a few minutes. Luckily, once we got going over this bridge, he was alright to continue on. Sometimes he will have a whole freak session where he just kind of stops and starts and tries to turn around and just spins on bridges, but he did do alright on this one, so my worry did end up going away not long after. This is where I finally caught up to Jordan and he realised I wasn't behind him. He was worried to begin with, he said. He thought Bandit had thrown me, but luckily he hadn't, and we were both completely safe and ready to go over this second bridge. At this point, Jordan does end up turning around and calling back to me, just to let me know that we are nearing the house where we're staying at for the night, and we won't be long, and we shall be having dinner shortly, which I'm sure me and Bandit were both very, very grateful to know. I think at this point we were all really happy to see the house, so we did end up quickly and swiftly putting them away, quickly running inside to grab a drink before attacking them, and we're very, very happy to see Jordan's friend and their dog. After such a long day, I was so happy to get off the back of Bandit and go inside and eat something. We both ended up going in and immediately warming up by the fire before doing literally anything else apart from getting a drink. I would like to say thank you to Jordan's friend for letting us stay the night, and thanks to all of you watching. I really, really appreciate the support. Let me know what you thought of the video and my voiceover, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!